We are counting down 35 wild facts that reveal an unexpected side of Los Angeles. From vast oil fields hidden beneath neighborhoods, to earthquake faults threading under beloved streets, to forgotten tunnel networks running below the city's surface, each entry reframes Los Angeles not as a place only of sun and stardom, but as a city shaped by geology, secrecy, and constant reinvention. These rankings will expose how deep the city's layers go, geographically, historically, and culturally, challenging everything you thought you knew about Los Angeles. Let's begin with number 35. Beneath the busy streets and palm-lined avenues of Los Angeles lies a world few residents ever see. The city sits atop one of the richest underground oil fields on the planet, with more than 3,000 active wells hidden in plain sight. Pump jacks operate quietly behind soundproof walls, tucked between apartment buildings in West Adams, and even within sight of schoolyards in neighborhoods like Baldwin Hills and Signal Hill. In some places, wells sit less than 100 feet from homes or classrooms. At Beverly Hills High School, more than 50 wells once operated within a few hundred feet of students. Each year, these urban oil fields produce between 10 and 15 million barrels of crude, feeding an industry that helped shape the city's growth since the late 19th century. While most people picture beaches and movie sets, Los Angeles is still powered in part by the heavy machinery humming just beneath its neighborhoods, a reminder that the city's true foundations are as industrial as they are glamorous. Long before Hollywood became a global symbol for film, the earliest movie studios in Los Angeles set up in a neighborhood called Edendale, now known as Echo Park. From 1908 to 1915, filmmakers such as Max Sennett and Keystone Studios operated on muddy streets, far from the glamour of Sunset Boulevard. Cheap land and abundant sunlight drew these pioneers west, but it was not until the mid-19-teens that studios began moving into Hollywood itself, lured by open fields and the promise of reinvention. The film industry's migration transformed a quiet suburb into the world's movie capital. But the story began miles away from the famous sign. Spanning more than 4,200 acres, Griffith Park stands as one of the largest municipal parks in the United States. Its wild canyons and rugged hills cover an area 5 times the size of Central Park in New York. Within its boundaries, mountain lions roam alongside coyotes and red-tailed hawks, while chaparral and oak woodlands stretch toward the city skyline. The park's origins trace back to 1896, when Colonel Griffith J. Griffith donated over 3,000 acres to Los Angeles with the vision of creating a public green space for all. Today, its trails, peaks, and forests offer a wilderness escape in the heart of the metropolis. Pools of black asphalt bubble quietly in the heart of Los Angeles, preserving a record of life that stretches back over 40,000 years. The La Brea tar pits, surrounded by modern museums and city traffic, have yielded more than 3.5 million fossils, evidence of a vanished world beneath today's sidewalks. Mammoths, saber-toothed cats, and giant ground sloths once roamed here, lured to the surface by water and trapped by sticky tar. Over 1,600 dire wolf skulls have been cataloged, their jaws locked in a permanent snarl. Excavations are ongoing, with paleontologists in the on-site lab carefully cleaning and identifying new finds each day. Project 23, a dig that began after construction workers unearthed more fossils in 2006, continues to deliver Ice Age surprises. Every specimen, from ancient bison to tiny insects, helps scientists reconstruct past climates and ecosystems. In Los Angeles, deep time remains just beneath the surface, connecting the city's present to a world lost in prehistory. A hidden world snakes beneath downtown Los Angeles, an underground labyrinth of 11 miles of tunnels carved out between 1901 and 1925. These passageways once let streetcars glide beneath Bunker Hill and Fort Moore, cutting through the city's steepest obstacles. The Hill Street Tunnel, stretching 2,600 feet, carried thousands each day until it was sealed off in the mid-20th century. Other corridors, reinforced with concrete, connected courthouses, jails, jails, and banks, moving prisoners and money out of sight from the city above. While stories of Prohibition-era bootleggers and secret speakeasies add layers of intrigue, archival records show these tunnels were mostly built for civic and transit needs, not for smuggling liquor. Entrances now sit bricked up behind hotel foundations and apartment basements. Their paths are blocked by redevelopment and decades of city growth. The myth of a vast criminal underworld gives way to a more measured reality. Los Angeles built down as much as it built up, leaving behind a buried network that once shaped how people and power moved through the city. A century ago, Los Angeles was stitched together by the Pacific Electric Red Car Network, over 1,000 miles of streetcar lines reaching deep into the suburbs and foothills. These electric trains shaped where people lived and worked, carving corridors that still influence the city's map today. When the red cars began to disappear in the 1950s, many of their routes did not vanish. Instead, they were buried, paved over, or quietly reused. The modern metro system now runs along some of these historic paths. The E line follows tracks first laid in 1875, carrying passengers from downtown to Santa Monica along a corridor that once echoed with the clang of trolley bells. In places like the subway terminal building, old streetcar tunnels now house metro trains. Layers of infrastructure, rails, tunnels, and stations are stacked beneath the city, each era building on the last. Los Angeles moves forward by weaving its past into the present, creating a transit system that is part-time capsule, part engine for change. The edge of the city unravels along more than 75 miles of coastline, tracing a path from the rugged cliffs of Malibu to the bustling ports of San Pedro and Long Beach. This shoreline is anything but uniform. To the west, waves crash against rocky bluffs and hidden coves, and farther south, broad beaches stretch out, lined with volleyball courts and bike paths. Each bend in the coast brings a different mood, fog rolling through Venice in the morning, warm sun settling over Manhattan Beach by afternoon. The Pacific shapes not only the city's geography, but also its weather, carving out pockets of climate that change from mile to mile. Los Angeles stands as a metropolis, defined by its shifting border with the sea. Los Angeles enjoys an average of 284 sunny days each year, making it one of the sunniest major cities in the United States. This near-constant sunlight shaped the city's identity as a hub for film and photography, providing natural, reliable lighting that early studios relied on for outdoor shoots. Directors and cinematographers could count on clear skies to keep production schedules on track, giving Los Angeles a practical edge over rivals like New York or Chicago. The city's climate became a silent partner in the rise of Hollywood, drawing filmmakers eager to escape unpredictable weather elsewhere. Even today, the rhythm of daily life and the pace of creative industries reflect this solar advantage. On any given day in Los Angeles, more than 185 languages echo through the city's neighborhoods. Walk down a single block and you might hear Spanish, Korean, Armenian, Tagalog, and Russian, all within earshot. According to census data and a survey by the University of Southern California, some areas report over 70% of residents speaking a language other than English at home. Street signs and storefronts reflect this mosaic, including Thai Town, Little Tokyo, historic Filipino Town, and dozens more, each with their own voices and traditions. This linguistic web is woven by generations of migration and community, giving Los Angeles one of the most complex and layered soundscapes of any city on Earth. More than 2,700 terrazzo and brass stars stretch for over a mile along Hollywood Boulevard and Vine Street, forming the largest sidewalk archive of celebrity in the world. The Hollywood Walk of Fame isn't just a tourist checklist. It is a growing record, with about 2 new names added each year. Musicians, actors, producers, even fictional characters find their place here, selected by a committee from thousands of public nominations. Each star is installed through a formal ceremony, often drawing crowds and camera flashes, but the sidewalk itself is the real stage. As the city expands and reinvents itself, the Walk of Fame quietly grows, layering new stories onto the concrete beneath Los Angeles' busiest streets. Freeway traffic in Los Angeles is no accident of nature. It is the result of deliberate planning. After World War II, city leaders chose to build a sprawling network of freeways instead of investing in mass transit. The Arroyo Seco Parkway opened in 1940, and it became the first urban freeway in the western United States, setting the pattern for what would follow. Today, Los Angeles County contains more than 527 miles of freeway lanes, with wide roads and strict parking requirements shaping neighborhoods around the car. UCLA researchers have shown that these choices locked in congestion and long commutes, making traffic not just a problem, but a built-in feature of daily life. Los Angeles is home to more than 200 museums, a concentration that rivals any city in the United States outside of New York. These institutions range from world-renowned centers such as the Getty and the Los Angeles County Museum of Art to specialized collections like the Peterson Automotive Museum and the Museum of Tolerance. The city's museum landscape includes everything from natural history and science to art, film, and even the offbeat, a network of spaces that reflects the diversity and ambition of the region itself. Whether exploring the ancient fossils at La Brea or contemporary galleries downtown, visitors find a cultural infrastructure woven through nearly every neighborhood. Lowrider and vintage car culture has shaped the streets of Los Angeles for generations. Since the 1940s, car clubs have gathered on Whittier Boulevard and other main drags, transforming ordinary nights into rolling celebrations of style and identity. Custom paint, chrome, and hydraulics turn each car into a work of art, with classic Chevrolets and Fords bouncing in time to music as crowds watch from the sidewalk. These weekly cruises are more than a show. They are a form of cultural expression, blending Mexican-American heritage with the city's restless energy. In Los Angeles, the road itself becomes a canvas for community and creativity. On any street in Los Angeles, the boundaries between fashion, food, and film blur in real time. Streetwear brands that began as local statements now influence global runways, often launched by artists who also design sets or style music videos. Chefs team up with filmmakers for pop-up dinners, where the menu is as experimental as the lighting. A single afternoon might reveal a sneaker drop in Fairfax, a food truck collaboration in Koreatown, and a film shoot that borrows the colors of Los Angeles murals. Social media accelerates these trend collisions, turning neighborhood experiments into worldwide phenomena almost overnight. In Los Angeles, creative fusion isn't an event, it's the daily rhythm of the city. High above the city, Griffith Observatory has welcomed visitors since 1935, offering a front row seat to both the cosmos and the Los Angeles skyline. Its hilltop dome frames the Hollywood sign and downtown's towers in a single sweeping view, making it a symbol of the city's connection between science and spectacle. Designed as a public astronomy hub, the observatory remains free to enter, inviting millions each year to peer through its telescopes or wander its halls. The building itself has starred in films such as Rebel Without a Cause and La La Land, but its real legacy lies in making the universe accessible to anyone willing to climb the hill and look out over the city below. Stretching for more than half a mile along the Tujunga Wash, the Great Wall of Los Angeles stands as one of the world's longest murals, 2,754 feet of painted history. Created from 1974 to 1983 under the direction of artist Judy Baca, the mural brought together over 400 young people from across the city, many recruited from local neighborhoods and youth programs. Each panel tells stories often left out of textbooks, from the lives of the Chumash people to the social movements of the 1960s. The mural transforms a concrete flood channel into a living timeline, reclaiming a space shaped by infrastructure and turning it into a monument to memory, struggle, and community. Today, the Great Wall remains a powerful example of how public art can reshape the meaning of a place. It invites Angelenos to see their city's past, layered, diverse, and unfinished, unfolding along the banks of a river that itself has been remade many times. A short drive from downtown Los Angeles, a small house in Pasadena holds a world record for eccentricity. The Bunny Museum, founded by Candace Frazee and Steve Lubansky in 1998, contains more than 35,000 rabbit-themed items, stuffed animals, figurines, paintings, and even furniture shaped like bunnies. The collection began as a quirky exchange of gifts between the couple and quickly multiplied beyond their living room. Today, visitors wander through rooms crowded with every imaginable rabbit rabbit artifact, from antique toys to giant plush hares. Recognized by Guinness as the largest bunny collection on Earth, the museum is a quiet testament to Los Angeles' love of the unexpected and the offbeat. Koreatown pulses with life long after the rest of Los Angeles goes quiet. Packed into just a few square miles, this neighborhood contains the densest Korean community outside of Korea. Neon-lit storefronts advertise late-night barbecue, 24-hour spas, and karaoke rooms that fill with laughter until sunrise. After the 1992 riots, businesses here began staying open around the clock, creating a true night city where after hours, cafes and bakeries serve regulars at 3 in the morning. Surveys show more businesses here operate past midnight than anywhere else west of the Mississippi. In Koreatown, the city's energy does not fade with the daylight. It simply shifts into a new rhythm, drawing crowds from across Los Angeles for food, music, and the promise of another hour out. Downtown Los Angeles has spent decades playing a kind of urban masquerade. The blocks around 5th and Spring Streets have stood in for New York City in more than 50 major films, from the hard shadows of Dragnet to the rain-soaked alleys of Seven. Directors choose these streets for their mix of old brick facades, fire escapes, and narrow lanes, details that echo a different coast entirely. Production designers log these locations for their versatility and for the way Los Angeles light can be shaped to mimic places as varied as Chicago and Mexico City. The same stretch of sidewalk can become Tokyo in the morning and Paris by nightfall. The film economy thrives on this constant disguise, turning familiar neighborhoods into global backdrops with just a few set pieces and a careful camera angle. Concrete walls line the path of the LA River, stretching 51 miles from Canoga Park to Long Beach. This engineered floodway was built after the catastrophic flood of 1938, when 3 days of relentless rain sent torrents through the city, killing at least 115 people and destroying thousands of homes. The U.S. Army Corps of Engineers responded by encasing the river in concrete, turning a seasonal waterway into a controlled channel. For decades, the river became a silent boundary, its natural life choked off by gray banks and the hum of nearby freeways. Yet after winter storms, water surges back, reviving pockets of reeds and birds along its course. In recent years, kayakers and artists have reclaimed stretches of the channel, finding beauty and possibility in its stark geometry. The LA River stands as both a monument to disaster and a canvas for the city's ongoing reinvention, its course cutting through neighborhoods that continue to adapt to the rhythms of drought and flood. As the sun dips behind the skyline, Los Angeles reveals a city above the city. More than 70 rooftop bars and lounges are scattered across downtown, Hollywood, and the West Side. These elevated venues offer a new perspective on urban life, blending open air with sweeping views of neon towers and distant mountains. At Perch, guests gathered 20 stories up, surrounded by Art Deco facades and the hum of city lights. The Proper Hotel's rooftop draws crowds for sunset cocktails, while hidden terraces in Koreatown and West Hollywood turn ordinary nights into something cinematic. In Los Angeles, nightlife climbs skyward, transforming rooftops into gathering places where the city's vertical layers come alive. Walls across Los Angeles double as open-air galleries, with murals transforming city blocks into ever-changing canvases. Neighborhoods like the Arts District and Pico Union pulse with color, where new works appear overnight and older pieces vanish beneath fresh layers of paint. Some murals last for decades, while others are gone in a week, making the city's street art scene a living record of its moods and movements. Inventories from local arts councils count well over 1,000 unique murals, from towering portraits to abstract bursts of color. In Los Angeles, public art is never static. Creativity spills out onto sidewalks, bridges, and alleys, giving the city a visual identity that shifts as quickly as its culture. The Arroyo Seco Parkway, which opened in 1940, stands as the first urban freeway in the western United States. Designed to connect downtown Los Angeles with Pasadena, its curving lanes and landscape medians became a prototype for modern highway systems across the country. Early planners believed this new kind of road would solve congestion and blend with the natural contours of the land, but the experiment carried consequences that rippled far beyond the city. As the freeway system expanded, entire neighborhoods neighborhoods were redrawn, and the city's reliance on the automobile deepened. Caltrans archives detail how engineers tested new interchange designs and ramp configurations here before adopting them nationwide. The Arroyo Seco's influence is visible in cities from Houston to Seattle, where planners borrowed both its innovations and its mistakes. Los Angeles became a living laboratory for urban planning, exporting both the promise and the pitfalls of the freeway age to the rest of America. Aviation has left its mark on Los Angeles in ways that go far beyond the runways. In Santa Monica, hangars built in the 1920s for the city's bustling airport now house art studios, creative offices, and even performance spaces. These cavernous structures once sheltered Douglas aircraft assembly lines, fueling the region's aerospace boom during World War II. As the jet age faded and flight paths shifted, the empty hangars found new life. Painters and designers replaced pilots and mechanics, and the sound of engines gave way to music and conversation. Across Los Angeles, similar conversions have transformed industrial airfields into hubs for galleries, pop-up events, and creative work, layering the city's aviation legacy into its everyday landscape. Pop-up food events have become a defining feature of Los Angeles, with more than 500 taking place across the city each year. Temporary kitchens appear in parking lots, alleyways, and borrowed storefronts, offering everything from ramen to vegan barbecue. These pop-ups serve as incubators for new chefs, allowing them to test recipes and build a following before opening permanent restaurants. Social media drives much of the excitement, with menus and locations announced only hours in advance, drawing lines of diners eager for the next big thing. In Los Angeles, the boundaries of food culture are redrawn every night, one pop-up at a time. In Los Angeles, a morning drive can mean a sweater at the beach and air conditioning by lunchtime in the valley. Marine fog rolls in from the Pacific, cooling Santa Monica and Venice, while just 15 miles inland, Burbank bakes under clear skies and temperatures rise by 10 degrees or more. Weather stations scattered across the city record these sharp swings every day, tracing invisible boundaries where the marine layer fades and dry heat takes over. Hills and canyons act as barriers, trapping cool air in some neighborhoods and blocking it from others. These rapid shifts shape what people wear, how they plan their days, and even which streets they take to avoid sudden pockets of heat or chill. In Los Angeles, these microclimates change not just with the seasons, but with every mile. Ridges and ravines carve Los Angeles into a patchwork of neighborhoods, each shaped by the land beneath it. The Mulholland Ridgeline, running east to west, divides the San Fernando Valley from the city below, while canyons like Laurel and Benedict cut deep paths through the hills. More than 3,500 miles of canyons and slopes twist across Los Angeles County, isolating communities and shaping how people move, gather, and even speak. In some places, a single winding road is the only link between neighbors. This topography does more than define the city's skyline. It creates pockets of identity, where the terrain sets boundaries as real as any street or freeway. The hills and canyons of Los Angeles give each enclave its own rhythm, turning geography into culture. Neighborhoods in Los Angeles rarely stay the same for long. Boyle Heights, once a hub for Jewish immigrants in the early 1900s, later became a center of Chicano culture and activism, before waves of new arrivals brought fresh languages, foods, and traditions. The Arts District downtown began as a warehouse zone for rail and produce, then drew artists in the 1970s, searching for cheap studio space. Today, galleries and lofts stand where factories once churned. Zoning maps from the 1880s to today reveal layers of reuse, as each generation reshapes the city's blocks for new needs and identities. In Los Angeles, reinvention is not a phase. It is the city's permanent state. Palm trees line the edges of Venice Beach and Malibu, their silhouettes rising above sand that seems to glow beneath the afternoon sun. Most of these palms are not native. They were imported in waves, especially during the 1920s and the 1930s, when city planners set out to craft a new identity for Los Angeles. Over 40,000 palms were planted along boulevards and beaches, chosen for their dramatic shapes and tropical feel, combined with imported sand, carefully managed shorelines, and turquoise lifeguard towers towers, these choices built the illusion of a Pacific paradise. The result is a coastline that feels more like a postcard than a city's edge, where every palm-framed sunset blurs the line between reality and fantasy. Los Angeles keeps its calendar full with more than 400 major festivals and public events every year. From the crowds that gather for the Los Angeles Film Festival to the citywide street closures of Cicalavia, celebration is a constant presence. Food fairs, art walks, and music parades fill weekends across neighborhoods, drawing Angelinos out of their cars and into shared spaces. Even niche gatherings like the Lotus Festival in Echo Park or the Mariachi Festival in Boyle Heights attract thousands. The city's sheer event density means that nearly every week brings a new reason to gather, sample flavors, or watch a film beneath the open sky. In Los Angeles, public celebration never really stops. It simply moves from one block to the next. Los Angeles is a city where food tells the story of cultural remix. In 1974, Raul Martinez parked an old ice cream truck on Whittier Boulevard and began serving tacos to late-night crowds. That first taco truck launched a phenomenon, blending Mexican street food with the city's restless appetite for invention. Today, the fusion continues on every corner. Kogi BBQ's Korean tacos once drew lines that wrapped around blocks, while homegrown vegan chains like Veggie Grill and Plant Power Fast Food have gone national, exporting Los Angeles' plant-based revolution across the country. From food trucks to fast casual empires, Los Angeles has become a laboratory for global flavors, remixing tradition into something entirely new. June brings a weather twist that confounds newcomers and frustrates filmmakers, the marine layer known as June gloom. For most of the month, thick morning fog drapes the city, rolling in from the Pacific and lingering well past breakfast. Weather records show that 60% of June mornings are shrouded in this gray mist. Studio logs from MGM in the 1930s document entire weeks of delayed outdoor shoots and ballooning budgets as crews waited for the sun to burn through. Even today, the city's skyline often disappears until midday, a reminder that Los Angeles is shaped as much by the ocean's breath as by human ambition. Downtown Los Angeles compresses a century of architecture into just a few city blocks. The turquoise crown of the Eastern Columbia building, finished in 1930, stands as an Art Deco landmark, its clock tower glowing above Broadway. A short walk away, the Wilshire Grand Center rises at 1,100 feet, its glass spire now the tallest building west of the Mississippi. Mid-century gems like the former Bullock's department store sit between these eras, their curved facades and neon signs recalling a different vision of modernity. Side by side, these structures reveal how Los Angeles stacks time in plain sight. They layer Art Deco, mid-century, and ultra-modern towers into a single, ever-changing skyline. More than a century after the first gushers transformed Los Angeles, the city and county still carry the imprint of oil beneath their feet. Across neighborhoods from Wilmington to West Adams, over 8,000 unplugged wells remain scattered under parks, homes, and schoolyards. Many are idle, some were sealed and forgotten, others are quietly maintained out of sight. Within Los Angeles city limits alone, nearly 900 unplugged wells sit within dense residential blocks, some just a few dozen feet from living rooms or playgrounds. These aging relics have raised new questions about health and safety, as residents report headaches, nosebleeds, and asthma near old drilling sites. Lawsuits in places such as Beverly Hills and West Adams allege that emissions from idle wells have contributed to illness, leading to multi-million-dollar settlements and tighter monitoring by state regulators. The debate over Senate Bill 1137, which would restrict new drilling near sensitive sites, has become a flashpoint. It pits environmental advocates against industry groups, and it has left thousands of urban wells in regulatory limbo. Each policy battle and court case traces back to decisions made generations ago, when oil profits shaped city boundaries and land use. Today, the legacy of those choices lingers below the surface, shaping how Los Angeles grows, breathes, and dreams of its future. Every day, ideas born in Los Angeles ripple outward to the rest of the world. The city's studios and sound stages produce more than a quarter of global box office revenue, and music recorded in local neighborhoods regularly tops international charts. Streetwear brands that began on Fairfax Avenue now shape fashion trends from Tokyo to Paris. Food trucks and pop-ups launch new flavors that circle the globe within months. More than $60 billion in media and creative exports flow from Los Angeles each year, making the city a true engine of global culture, a place where what happens on a single block can set the pace for the planet. Across all 35 entries, one truth emerges. Los Angeles is defined by reinvention, layered on hidden realities. From its shifting borders to its global influence, every facet is shaped by forces both visible and buried: geology, culture, industry, and migration. This constant transformation makes Los Angeles unpredictable and endlessly complex. To understand Los Angeles is to see a city that never reveals all its layers at once. Which fact changed how you see Los Angeles? Tell us in the comments and subscribe for more stories that reveal the city beneath the surface.